what's inside, and the world has got you down. You need someone to turn to, but there's no one to turn to but you.
And thank you, thank you, thank you, and welcome to the Smile Haven. I'm your Smile Lady, and we're here to spread a little joy. And you know you were born to smile. Everybody was placed on this earth to leave this place better than they found it. My new music, I know you see, is no longer Bobby McFerrin. It is Mandrill, When You Smile, 1972, believe it or not. But a smile is timeless. A smile is priceless. So no matter when that was made, it is still true today. When you smile, you brighten the world. And guess what? There would not be a rainbow without the rain. And you have to take it all. And when you smile, you are giving somebody a gift, believe it or not, a vitamin. You can Google that. So those of you tuning in for the first time, you know we got to smile. Because with the guests right now, we're going to be talking about love. We're going to be talking about what's behind that love and what's behind Rena Scott's smile. But children, get your parents, because you know the drill. We're going to walk through this smile step by step until the whole world knows it, okay? So we're going to start out with the S. You know your S, American Sign Language here. Support. It takes a whole village to raise just one child. You can't do anything by yourself. You think about it. You didn't even wake up on your own. And children, if you have on clothes, you didn't buy them. Somebody supported you in that. Whatever you did, even when you went to the restroom, the water company, So support, it takes a whole village. Motivate, that's your M, okay? Motivate, here it is. Enthusiasm. Did you know enthusiasm means in God? So whatever is in you, what is it that you love doing so much you would do it even if you did not get paid? That's your inner motivation. That is your gift. So don't hate, motivate. Use your gift to make this world better. Then your I, this is the I, invest. And my invest, yes, I do need money. It's a nonprofit. But more importantly, serve. How are you giving back using your gift to serve the world? Your gift is not for you. It's to pay it forward. So leave this place better than you found it. Then L, your love. This is the first vitamin of the day. Everybody needs a 20-second hug at least a day, preferably from somebody else, but if not, hug yourself. That also is a vitamin, okay? 15 minutes of sun a day without sunblock is a vitamin. Smiling in the mirror, even if it's fake, releases serotonin. Trust me, we were born, we have 3 that we don't even have to pay for immediately when we wake up. Now you're E for educate. Now you want to teach. Basically, you want to teach, okay? Teach, educate. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. And that's what I want to tell you today. And all of that is smile. And we're going to weave a smile right after Rena Scott's, what is the name of it? Tell me.
I know it's right.
I know it's right. You know when love is right. You'll know. And watch this video. And we'll come back and interview Rena Scott and see what's behind her smile. Okay? Be right back.
I feel is so real down inside for you. Ooh, baby, I can't wait to be with you tonight, baby. And every night, ooh, don't you know it? I know it's right. I know it's right. 'Cause it feels so good. Oh, baby, baby, baby. I know it's right. I'll say it again and again and again. I know it's right. Ooh, 'cause it feels so good. And baby, I don't need no one but you. Ooh, in my life, close to me, baby. Come on now, I need you. Oh, I know it's right. Say that you will. Say it, baby. I know it's right. I know it's right. Say it again and again. Never let me go, no. Come on, 'cause it feels so good. Oh, it feels so good. That I know, that I know, that I know it, so baby, good. Don't you? So good. You whip it on me, baby. You whip it on me. Come on, come on, come on.
I know it's right to have Rena Scott on this show right now. And we're going to talk about love. We're in the season of love. We need all types. All types of love make up a person. Until you hit all the types, you are not totally thriving. You have to hit all types. You know, there's phileo, there's eros, there's all different types of love. There's the agape. Now, the agape is the hardest one. The agape is you love a person even if they don't love you. You love the unlovable. You love the Bin Ladens of the world. That is the true test of love. Now, you may not like somebody, but you got to love them. That's just it. So I know it's right now talking about love with Rena Scott. And what you saw right there was one of her videos off of her second CD. Her first one was 1979, right? Rena Scott, Come On Inside. It used to be, little kids, you don't know what it was, an album. Now it's a CD remake. And then you just heard, I know it's right, from Let Me Love You. Love You. And her final one, her latest, is Rena Scott, Take Me Away. So if you want to know more about Rena Scott, smileladyjoy@gmail.com or 626-354-5197. And I'm sure she's going to give you information to contact her or where you can see her. So Rena.
I'm so glad to be here. You are a sweetheart. That's all I can say.
You are. I saw you on The Sounds Within with L.V. Smith, and I knew with your backstory and a little bit with your daughter and saw that relationship, I knew you would make my audience smile. I just had to have you. And I'm going to probably have you on again with your daughter.
I would love to.
I would love for you to do that. Now, the question I ask, I already know it, but what drives you? What is it you love doing so much that you would do it even if you did not get paid?
Well, it is singing. I tell you one thing, it's so funny. When I first got my first gig, you know, because I started in church when I was 12 years old. And, well, let's just go back a little bit. 5 and 6, there was a lot of domestic violence, and I saw hurtful things. My mom just being nose broke and all these kind of things, and that's
and you
hurtful
were 5
as a
and
child.
6 years old.
Yes, and I was
goodness.
traumatized. By the time I was 10 years old, I almost had a nervous breakdown because I shook so much. You know, it was just like a snap. And I love my dad, but that was one part I hated about him. And out of that, I used to sing in the mirror and I would cry because I would remember church songs from going to church, and I would talk to God that way. That was my way of releasing, you know, Father, talk to me, give me strength, help me to get through this. So when I turned 12, I joined the Baptist Church Choir in Detroit. That's where I'm originally from. And I used to sing in 3 or 4 different choirs, community choirs. I sang in 2 Baptist church choirs. I was all over the place in school singing. And music really saved my life. God first, he saved my life, but he worked it through music.
I hear you.
And that's why I want music to stay in the school so much, because I would have been lost without music.
You are my kind of guest then. I'm fighting for that too, the arts.
Yes, and I can tell you, like you said, it takes a village to raise a child. It took a village to raise me. I was in so many different choirs and choir directors and teachers who took me under their arms and gave me that love. For when I got my first gig at 14, my mom was managing me. I was singing in nightclubs, and I was opening up for groups like the Temptations, the Originals, the Four Tops, because again, I'm from Detroit, so you had all these wonderful groups. And I was singing so much that I had my own audience in Detroit. People knew me. And I couldn't believe it. I think the first gig I gave, I got paid $25.
Wow.
I was so excited. I was like, they're paying me to sing. $25. I'm so excited. But I just couldn't believe they were paying me to sing. And so that was my motivation. I would sing even if I didn't get paid. And of course I did. I sang in church. I still do. All through my life I've sang in church.
What is your church home?
Well, I'm in between now, but I'm going to a church called Praise Tabernacle Bible Church in Chino.
Okay.
And I'm really loving it.
Okay.
I'm really loving it. I really like the pastor and his wife. They're not very flamboyant. They're just down to earth.
Good.
Wonderful people, caring people, and the praise team is off the chain.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
So that's where I'm going right now, and I'm just being a little quiet. I'm just sitting on a pew right now, kind of taking it all in before I jump in, you know. But yes, I would sing even if they didn't pay me.
Yes, and I know that. Your face, you look like maybe you're 16 or 17. When you talk about your
love
passion, you can tell a person when they are talking about their passion. That's the one thing. I can tell about 85 to 90% of the time, people who are working in their passion, even if they have a regular job, J-O-B, just over broke. Even if they have a regular job and their passion is fueling their life, you could tell it. You know, and you could tell it through the eyes. It's like in Sixth Sense, I see dead people, you know, see dead people. So what we're going to do after we come back, because you told me your support system and what motivated you. We're going to come back after we get this Remember CD.
Okay.
We're going to come back here. So I know they did Never Give Up. I didn't hear it, but Never Give Up, my brother James Johnson, thank you. Your opening was Mandrill, When You Smile. I said that. So we'll be right back.
All right.
And we'll remember where we were, right?
We will.
Remember.
We will.
It's your strength that carries me through the fire and the rain. Sometimes I can't always put into words what I feel for you. It's for real. And I've been through so much in my lifetime. God sent you to me right on time. And I just want you to just remember what I told you. You know that I love you, I love you, never forget it. Please take it with you everywhere you go. Please, what I told you, you know I love you, I love you. Never forget.
know what? I remember love. Do you remember where we were before the break? We were remembering how love touches you. We were remembering how you need a support system. We were remembering how that inner motivation is how you're supposed to give back. That's where we are right now. And Rena, I want to ask you right now, in investing and giving back using your talent, how do you do that? And I know your daughter sings. We want to
Yeah.
talk about that whole mix.
Well, again, domestic violence, and I never really understood why I had to go through that, but I do now as an adult, because you have to go through something in order for you to testify and tell someone else about your story. And if you've lived it, it's a lot more real than it is just telling a story. So I talk about domestic violence on all my interviews.
Good.
And I had, my last CD, I toured all around the country, and I met with mayors of each city to
beautiful.
talk about what was going on actually in their city and communities. And it's just out of control. And it even starts at the elementary school, if you can believe it, where these kids act out what they see some of their parents doing. And I have to tell you from my own experience, people, don't do that to your children. Don't do
And see,
that.
it's good you had an outlet and a strong support system
Yes.
when you were 5 and 6 and started singing. That's what I want to tell you, parents. Nurture that gift of the children. Nurture their gift, because you can tell a child's gift by the time they're 5 and 6 years old. And if you look at it and don't force it doing what you didn't get to do, but watch what they love to do and nurture that, that will save their life, and they will be really a benefit to the community.
Yeah, well,
I
you
love
know, it's
that.
so funny. My mom didn't really know I could sing.
But somebody else in the village
Well,
did.
it was my auntie.
See?
And they were going to, like I said, this Baptist church. My mom still belongs to the same church after all these years.
And what's the name of that church?
Ealerton Baptist Church on the east side of Detroit.
Okay.
And so one Sunday, we're downstairs, and the pianist was playing a song that one of the great soloists of the church was singing, and I remembered the words. And you know, we used to sing in church morning, noon, and night. We get Kentucky Fried Chicken, and we set it on the table and go downstairs in the basement, and we sing, and we eat, and we carry on to the next service. And in between one of these services, we went downstairs in the basement, and I started singing a little of the song, and everybody stopped doing what they're doing. It scared me. I didn't know what's going on. So they said, I started singing the song, and the pianist looked at me and stopped and said, "You can really sing."
See?
And I didn't know I could sing.
See?
So that Sunday, they got me up there to sing the song. And we know, going to Baptist church and Church of God in Christ, they like to have church. So they went in, up and down the aisles. People started running up and down the aisles and
Holy Spirit.
shouting. Holy Spirit came in. And I was like, wow, okay. So one of the choir members entered me into a major talent contest that they hold every year in Detroit at the Fox Theater, which is still there. They've refurbished it. But they used to have all the Motown reviews there. And that was my first endeavor outside of the church at 13. Well, let me go back. Went to a church on a Sunday evening after that, a visiting church, and I was singing. And my aunt called my mom up and said, "You gotta come, you gotta come, you gotta hear this girl sing." My mom was like, "Oh, okay." And when she heard me, she was blown away.
See?
She was blown away. Because I used to listen to, my mentors were Aretha Franklin, Gladys Knight,
Yeah, mention it. There
Patti
you go.
LaBelle, Mavis Staples, Barbara Streisand. I wanted to have a realm of singers that I could, I guess, pattern myself after. And I patterned myself too much after Aretha. So they started saying, "You got to start getting your own sound. You sound too much like her." And I started singing everything she ever recorded.
Yes.
So I don't know what the question was.
No, you did. You did. How you give back. And then you said domestic violence and this.
Yeah,
and
so I
when
talk
you were
about
little,
that.
And then we talked about if you didn't have that support system, and you said your auntie was the one that recognized it. As long as you were exposed to that village, that's the important. That is the exact thing I wanted to bring out. You make an interviewer's job so easy, because we're right now with love. And when you go from investing and you do it in love, without the L, the smallest word in smile, but the most powerful, it would be a SME. It wouldn't even be. It would be abuse. It wouldn't be a gift. So I could see you had people that love you around it, and you loved what you were doing.
Yes.
Now your education, did you have any formal education for your singing, or that's just God's gift right there?
Well, I did. Again, I was in so many choirs that they really mentored me. They taught me how to sing, gospel music, R&B. They taught me how to breathe correctly and all that. But then I also got a voice teacher that really taught me technique.
And the name of the teacher?
I can't even remember his name now. It's been so many years.
Okay. Okay. We know who we're talking about here.
Yeah. So anyway, but so yeah, he taught me how to breathe. And
so the importance of education and polishing your craft.
Absolutely. And then I went to Wayne State University after I graduated from high school.
And your major?
Yeah, it was music and drama.
Okay.
And
I can tell.
then I was in a lot of musicals and plays and things like that.
Now your daughter.
Yes.
You invested in her, I know that, and you love. So talk about her CD and how she's doing.
Well, it's funny when I did. What you don't have is my second CD called Love Zone was on a label called Sedona Records, and so right after I gave birth, I had to get ready because we had to take pictures for the CD and all that stuff. But my daughter's been around music all her life, so even when I was carrying her, I was singing, and then after that, used to put her in everything. I put her in ballet, and she used to sing with a little group called the Showbiz Kids. The Showbiz Kids, and they sang at Disneyland. I guess she must have been about 7 years old when she did that.
See, exposure.
Yeah, and then I helped her. She entered in all the little talent shows in school. And it's funny, she sang My Guy one year in junior high school, and she had two little girls backing her up, and it was just the funniest, cutest thing. But she's just been around music her whole life, and I got her a little microphone, and she used to dance and sing. I put her in ballet and dance and some of everything.
And she migrated towards the singing, because I remember hearing her when she was on Sounds Within. She said that, I watched my mom and this, and I knew that's what I wanted to do. She was like the best role model. So do you go out on mother and daughter things to talk about how you kind of broke that chain of the domestic violence and working together?
Well, thank God she never went through that, and I vowed to God that I would never be with anyone who would beat me or hit me or abuse me in any way. And we know that the domestic violence does not always mean the partner you're married to or whatever, and it can come in different forms.
And it can be verbal. People don't know.
That's
that
right.
Mental abuse, all of that bondage, people don't know that you can kill a person's spirit, and that's a dead person walking around.
That's so true.
And they don't arrest them for murder, because there's still a body. But you have a lot of people mentally just destroying people, and we need to get that out there more. And so your daughter has a CD out?
Yes.
Come on, let's talk about that.
It's coming. She is almost finished with
And
it.
her
She's
name?
got one more song. Her name is Nina Snare. And she's got a single out right now called Hey Boy.
Okay.
And the next one is coming is, I think it's called Bad Chicks.
Okay.
And it's sort of like a standing up for women and, again, doing what your passion is.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
And
Exactly.
doing it your way.
Yes.
And so I'm very excited for her because she's on a label called Bad Sue Records out of Las Vegas. And she just did her new photo shoot for her new single and her
Ooh.
CD Saturday. And so I'm very excited for her. And the CD should be out at the beginning of next year, but the next single will be out within the next 30 days.
And you know what? I just love it. You're that last CD we played, you said that was number 5 on the...
Oh, yes, it was. And it was a ballad. I was concerned about releasing a single as a ballad. But it crossed boundaries. Actually,
Good
we crossed over
job.
to, we were number 5 for 18 weeks on the R&B hip hop single sales on Billboard.
Oh,
For
man.
18 weeks, I couldn't believe it with a single. And then I'll tell you something that really touched me about this particular song, because I wrote this song where it could not just be for a man and woman, but it could be for a mother and a daughter,
Yes,
or a father
yes,
and son,
that's-
or
yes.
someone
I feel
you
your song.
loved.
You really have to go ahead and Google Rena Scott. You have to get it because you feel her. There's some people who are just singing words on paper, but you feel her. Do you write your songs?
I do.
Yes.
I co-write most of my songs.
I want you to get back to that story because they're giving me Moroccan Nights that's
Okay.
coming on by Mandrill. That's my music. But I want you to talk about, that song is for man and woman. It could be.
Yeah. And one of my fans told me that she took this song, this is one of her favorite songs, to her mother's gravesite. And she said, I played it. I took a CD player with me to the gravesite. That put me tears in my eyes. And she said, I knew my mother could hear it in heaven.
Thank
and
you.
I played it over her gravesite, and it just touched me so much.
See, it does. It does. And where are you playing? Are you going to be playing during the holidays, somewhere out, maybe in 2013?
Well, what I'm doing right
Your
now
website?
my website is renascott.net, and you can check me out on Facebook. Go to my fan site and like me. That means I can keep up with you. You can email me from my fan site. That way I'll have your email address, and I can keep you updated on everything I'm doing. And I'm also starting to write for my next CD for next year.
Good
So, and I'm working with new writers and producers, so I'm very excited.
Yes.
Excited. And I'm going to do a couple of gospel songs on this next
Ooh,
CD.
ooh, that is
and
so
then a
good.
gospel
Go back
album
to your
because
roots.
it's
Yes,
my roots.
That's your roots.
Yeah.
Well, I am so looking forward to having you and your daughter back. This will be in 2013, maybe to air in Women's History Month.
Oh, that'd be
You know, and I'll
fantastic.
probably play this Women's History Month because our children need to be exposed to positive role models. How you started. You started at 5 and 6.
Yeah.
Your talent was out. It was nurtured. Bloom where you are planted, people. Get positive role models. I mean, positive role models. In your culture, outside of your culture, there's a lot of influence there. So just remember, you know that on the CD? I love you. Remember to smile. That's giving somebody a gift every day.
Yeah.
And if you want to contact Rena Scott, she gave you the information. And again, what do you want to tell them? Any few last minute words?
Well, I just want to say, never give up on your dreams. Never let anyone tell you cannot
That's
do
it.
You know, it was very difficult for me after a while. You know, record labels don't want to sign you because you get too old, you get to this, you get to that. And God gave me a way to do it. And these last 2 CDs are on my record label, or More Records, which means love.
Yes.
And my whole being is about love and sharing and caring. I love to laugh,
Yes.
even if it's by myself. Sometimes I'm the only one laughing. I look around and I'm like, oh, too bad you lost out on that one. But I say just love yourself, and God bless you all. Stay positive, love somebody else, give to somebody else, and I love you, and you can't do anything about it.
Okay, thank you so much. You heard that from Rena Scott.